listen. Shut up for a second. So, there's been a recent spate of articles about teachers banding together to try and sue some of the big name platforms. You're talking about Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, and other Chinese spy apps that your teens are on when they're out of control. So they're citing the reasons that it contributes to possible cyberbullying, distraction in class, and mental health issues. This is the latest grab for the crumbs of free speech that we just got left to play with. And you know what that means, because if you're watching this, it's most likely on Rumble, Odyssey, or BitChute, not so much YouTube, not so much Facebook or anything like that. Because, even your memes are getting fact-checked. If you go back to my last video, I believe it was on RMIT, which is a university in Australia, paid $800 a pop to fact-check you on Facebook, because they recently have a partnership with Meta, and this agreement is worth $500,000 per year. So this is big business and big money for people that are involved, and your free speech can go out the window. Why this is really important is because if you hear the term Section 230, if you don't know what it is, Americans, it is one of the most important pieces of legislation in your country as far as the internet goes. So Section 230 is sort of an offshoot of the 1996 Communications Decency Act, and it was aimed mostly at kind of regulating pornography and pornographic images and things of that nature, and to absolve the mega platforms of responsibility and ability to be sued by third parties posting things on their platform. So for instance, I don't know, you get sort of a pornography website and they upload something that's CP or something. That makes it so you can't sue the host of it. Even though they're the host of it, they had no knowledge that someone was putting it up. They can always remove it, but it essentially means that they are not responsible for some dickhead putting something on their platform. That's fine. That's fair enough. I get it. We have already lost a lot of freedom of speech regarding memes, regarding posting articles that we think are interesting. If it goes against the mainstream narrative, you're banned for 30 days. Or your news is suppressed, or your newsfeed gets pushed down in the list of everyone else's so nobody sees your post for X amount of days. Or even a couple of years. Yours truly. Anyway, because once again, if there's a piece of controversial legislation, or if there's an idea being floated that could possibly garner a formidable logical argument back the other way, they want to tug at your heartstrings and use your emotions. And this is nothing different. So what are they trying to do? Oh, we're teaching and it's distracting the students and they can get bullied and they can also have anxiety and it's affecting them mentally. Well, you know what? That's their parents' issue. And the issue is to unplug the computer. That has nothing to do with the meme I just posted. And so the little crumbs that we have left on these platforms of freedom of speech are being diminished every single day. And you know that. What do you think is going to happen if any part of Section 230 is erased? Do you really think the big platforms are going to risk letting you open your mouth? Letting you tell the truth, letting you post a funny meme with a lot of nuance behind it? We'll all be screwed. And I know everyone's moving over to different platforms, I get it, but the normies are left behind and their thought process is going to be hampered and they're not going to be able to find the truth, even a grain of it. You think you're going to change things, but all you're really left with sometimes is just planting a seed and letting someone find out what you've written and research for themselves. And that is going to be disallowed under this. If useful idiots like these teachers get what they want, it means more than just them getting what they want. See, now these are normies, so they're like, bleeding heart, the children. But what they also want is getting that money, because if you look back on some lawsuits, so say Juul Labs, who was a vaping company, they had to pay out $1.7 billion to claimants, 5,000 of which were affiliated or in school districts that were claiming they were marketing the products to teens, tweens, and automobiles, no, teens, tweens, and younger people, and saying that that was not good and they were liable for that. For me, check the title of this. It's ever something to say this is my opinion. That's on you. If your parents aren't looking in the right direction and you're dumb enough to go buy things and fall for the marketing, is what it is. I don't see how they were made to pay that, but okay, moving on. It's about money. One of the lawyers that was involved in that lawsuit has been quoted bragging to these teachers that he will get them a payout if they all band together and push this to be able to erase some of Section 230 to make mega platforms liable and be able to pay. And as I said before, they're not going to want to pay a single cent to these idiots, which means they're going to totally stifle your free speech and your memes. And you already know what's happening. Check my last video. RMIT, which is a university in Australia, has been given $800 a pop to fact check the nuanced memes that you post and the articles that you post and the opinions that you post with Meta/Facebook. It's a thing. They're making a lot of money from this. Everyone wants to get paid. Missouri lawyer Jonathan Kiefer said during a presentation on the social media cases to the Brevard Public Schools Board in Florida in May, quote, "I can't change the law and we can't send anybody to jail, but what we can do is sue them in massive litigation and try to make them pay a whole lot of money." What a hunk of shit. The board then voted unanimously to go ahead and try and sue. So cha-ching, cha-ching, that's what they're looking for, because they can't be asked getting off their ass and parenting their children. You're being cyberbullied, unplug the computer. Speak to your children about how to get over that and how to deal with it. Oh, you're getting distracted in class? Why don't you put your phones in a box before you walk in the classroom? Teacher, why don't you do that? So, no, I give no quarter, I give no ground. This is my free speech, what's left of it. And if I want to post a freaking meme about something, then I will. And that doesn't need to be fact checked. It's up there. If you're offended by it, that's your problem. Because being offended is subjective. It depends on the variables such as where you grew up, your gender, whether you had brothers and sisters, what you work as, your religious affiliation, your experiences, any number of things. And you can't police the whole world. And the second we try and do that, which is what is essentially happening anyway in our society, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So back to the teachers. Don't fall for this shit. This is about getting them paid, but the bigger picture is that if we erase any part of Section 230, then we are not going to have a good time, because there is absolutely no way any of these platforms are going to let you express yourself or put forward something that is against the agenda anytime that you felt like it. Oh, and just in case you don't remember, Biden was the one who was quoted as saying Section 230 should be revoked immediately. And Trump was the other one that put on Twitter, repeal Section 230. So no, nobody's on your freaking side. You need to make this decision for yourself, and you need to support the people that understand what's at stake with this thing. And yeah, I just really hate hysterical bleeding heart parents that don't actually understand the way things work. So the links will be in the description, because this is kind of an important one and you can make your own decision and you can learn about it in your own time. But just be aware that when people want certain things changed, they don't care about what it means in the future. They just care about filling their pockets and being virtuous individuals. Don't want to be one of those people that's asking you to sub and like, but if you feel like commenting or liking, that would help me out. It'll give me the power to do more of these episodes.